actually not even one that I wanted if I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so next on our agenda is to do the modeling debrief. So we're going to be watching the modeling activity where I modeled for you, and I'm so glad that Emily was available to be the parent. And then we'll score the rubric together. And then we'll discuss any modifications that might be needed for your learning style, if that's necessary, to help you get ready for behavioral rehearsal. And maybe modifications needed for individual parents too, those considerations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Trying to make it louder.
Can I actually pause it right here?
And are you still comfortable with me asking some questions about your child and your family? Okay, pause is here.
Okay,
great.
Okay, I just think it'll be easier for me to do the scoring if I do it in little chunks.
Okay.
So like Greek and
That
what did we
works.
get?
That works for me too. In fact, I could start it over if you don't mind, because I didn't have it up loud enough.
Sure, that's
Do you mind
fine.
if we do that?
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. I think it's loud enough now. So.
If we can pause it right at that same point, right if you ask her if she still wants to do it, then I think that'll be
Okay.
enough that I can keep in my mind and we can remember what was said as we do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you told me that.
I think if I listen to the whole thing, I'll be like, no, what did you say at the beginning? Did you actually do that? I don't remember.
Okay, so starting over with good volume and pausing at, say that again, we're pausing at the point where she says.
Right after you're asking her, so are you still all right if I ask you some questions
Okay.
about your child?
Emily, hi. Thanks for coming. You're right on time. And yeah, just have a seat there. That's probably the most comfortable seat in the house. Unless you'd like to sit on the child's seat. You're so pretty uncomfortable, so it's kind of nice to have some grown-up chairs in here. Okay, so I've been learning about how to use strategies from the pyramid class approach, which I've given you a brief introduction. Do you remember during our teacher conferences? Yeah. Okay. And so my goal now is to learn ways to build stronger relationships with families and hopefully help parents to learn how to talk to teachers about what's important to them at the same time. I'm hoping this conversation will do that for both of us. Do you have any questions about what we're doing? And are you still comfortable with me asking some questions about your child and your family? Okay, great.
Okay, so am I supposed to take the lead on this? Do you take the lead on this? As far as the scoring goes?
You know what? It's collaborative. We can do this together. So for greet the parents, did you feel like I met all of those?
I did, yes. I heard the hi, you shook her hand. She was kind of walking towards the chair, but you were just saying, yeah, you can just go ahead and have a seat there. that kind of joking, you know, best seat in the house unless you want one of the kids' chair, you know, kind of really lightened the tone,
Okay.
for that friendly tone. And then,
Of course, that was Cindy speak, and Rachel will have Rachel speak, so,
yes.
you know, it's gonna be a little bit different what they,
yes, but for me, that was
Say.
evidence that you were, you know, using that friendly tone and stuff. That was
Okay.
evidence of that. And you did specifically said, you know, thanks for coming.
Mhm. And then for a brief explanation, I felt that definitely the script covers the sharing how the interview can support the teacher and parent relationship. And we did get to the point where I asked if she had any questions and did she still feel comfortable. My critique of myself, well, I'd like to hear what you, because I have a little critique for myself in that little piece right there.
I know what you're going to say. That you were reading it.
Yes.
But it's something, you know, that I came up with too. And so you're coming up with somebody else's words and stuff.
Right.
But yeah.
And, you know, if I had spent more time really memorizing the script, and then if you're doing this over and over and over, it's going to just roll off your tongue, and you won't need to read it. So, yeah, that was something that I noticed right away. And now that isn't part of the criteria, so it's not like we can mark off for that, but it's something good to note for the future. To make it better, right? So
But that was met.
we met. Okay,
Yes.
so
And we can get to the conducting the interview.
all right. Make sure I press the right button.
Again, thank you for coming and appreciate the time that you spent. So, tell me about Sam. She's a very caring person. You know, she loves to be around people and just interaction. She's a very happy kid. You know, she loves to play. You know, I think house is probably her key area. She loves to play there. She loves to play hide and seek. She's ready to learn, and she loves to learn new things. I noticed that about her in class. And I've seen her out on the playground doing hide and seek with her other friends, and I picked up on that too. when she becomes an adult, any of those times?
You know, I can see her being very successful, you know, with going on in school and then going on into the real world. It's just kind of hard just to think of where she will be, you know.
I think that's a big example of that wait time.
But I can see her doing very well.
Okay. So can you tell me more about that? You know, what is it in your mind that is doing very well or being successful? What does that mean to you?
It'd be, you know, getting through school, either, I mean, personally, I would say going to college and going from there.
Can I pause right here? Okay. Okay, so you mentioned something about wait time.
I did, yes. And we are at 10 minutes on there.
Okay.
On
Maybe I
there.
should go ahead and,
Stop and restart. Yeah, that is 10 minutes.